In this video, I'm offering up 10 contemporary comedic monologues for male performers. These will be perfect for auditions, assessments, and showcases. You can use the chapters in this video to save time finding the monologue you need, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you some top tips how to get hold of these monologues easily and cheaply. Right? Off we go. Ollie, from Thick Skin by Caitlin McEwen. Start on page 9 at I definitely thought I could handle Magaluf, and stop on page 11 at yeah, I think that's when I accepted that I was getting old. Ollie's recently returned from a lad's trip to Magaluf. He's made a staggering discovery that he's getting too old for this. He's realised that fish bowls and laddish depravity need displacing for Tapas and the Godfather trilogy. This speech perfectly captures his inner struggle of maturity versus immaturity and is full of funny lines. Greg, from Bottleneck by Luke Barnes. This scene is called Wednesday and it's the start of the play. Start on page 19 at he just doesn't get it, he won't listen, and stop on page 20 at because it's full of slags. Greg has just started secondary school and he's already in trouble for bad-mouthing Sarah Jane, his new nemesis. He speaks about the turbulent relationship with his dad, as well as his fondness for his dad's facial hair. This speech is full of boisterous bravado and rebelliousness. The character speaks in a Scouse or Liverpool dialect, but it's possible to tweak a few words to make it work in other accents. Bobby, from Awkward Conversations with Animals I Fucked by Rob Hayes. This is in part 2, Cat. Start on page 20 at you hungry? I've got cat food, thought ahead, and stop on page 22 at okay, your turn, what did you learn about me? Bobby is embarking on a series of one-night stands with consensual adult mammals. It's the morning after and he's speaking to a cat called Janine. He offers her food and boasts how much he knows about her. This is one of the boldest, bizarrest and funniest one-man plays I've ever read. The cat scene is cracking, but every scene works as an amazing monologue. Ben, from Rails by Simon Longman. This speech is at the start of part 2. Start on page 38 at she's in front of me, and stop on page 40 at I'm in love. Ben is working a miserable job in a petrol station until one day a beautiful woman visits and refills her tank. He's head over heels besotted with her, and this speech is full of clumsy, love-struck stupidity. At the end of the speech, Ben has an annoyed altercation with a nuisance customer, which lands him in trouble with his boss. Patsy, from The Winterling by Jez Butterworth. In Jez Butterworth Plays 1, start on page 213 at can I tell you a quick story, Mr. West? And stop on page 214 at here's your Lamberts, Wally. Patsy is 25 and he's in a deserted farmhouse in Dartmoor with two older men, Mr. West and Wally. Wally is seeing Patsy's mum, Rita. Patsy declares a hilariously brash description of his mum alongside an endorsement of the relationship. Wally has 3 tiny interjections which you can easily cut to make the monologue work. Charlie, from Pomona by Alistair McDowell. This is in scene 8. Start on page 47 at do you want to know what my fetish is? And stop on page 50 at isn't that weird? Charlie sat in a car with Mo and they've been paired up to do a job together. Charlie's really chatty and desperately trying to make conversation with Mo, so he starts discussing his present desires and his past sexual activities involving a scrapped mattress. It's a truly iconic comedy speech and it's wonderfully weird and awkward. Mo has consistent tiny interjections, but cutting them out will make the speech work perfectly well. Nick, from The Brink by Brad Birch. This speech is part 1, scene 5. Start on page 17 at Mrs. Nichols is off today, so, and stop on page 19 at in your head, Peter. Nick is a 28-year-old history teacher and he's covering an English class. The class is unruly and uninterested, and Nick has many individual interactions with different students as they revise Dickens's A Tale of Two Cities. This is a great speech to explore the vocal tone and tactics of a teacher under pressure. Plus, it's a great acting challenge to accurately visualise the busy classroom. The Comedian, from Feeling Afraid as if something terrible is going to happen by Marcelo dos Santos. Start on page 17 at date 6 and stop on page 19 at none of this is me. The Comedian is 36 and he's going on his 6th date with an American guy. This speech is full of nervousness about the possibility of sex, combined with the American's contrasting calm confidence. It's great to explore the two vastly different characters and their vocal energies and accents. Also, the play is transferring to the Bush Theatre London in November 2023. It's a brilliant show. I really recommend it. Meat Man, from Market Boy by David Eldridge. This is in scene 11. In David Eldridge's plays 2, start on page 162 at, now I'm going to give you 2 lovely bits of fillet steak, and stop on page 164 at, God bless her son, God bless Margaret. We're in Romford Market in 1988, and Meat Man is giving a teenager called Boy some words of wisdom. Meat Man's a geezer who's guiding Boy on how to prepare a meal for a fast approaching first date. Meat Man then gives Boy an animated tour of all the stalls. It's filled with vigour and overflowing with patriotism and luminous English optimism. It's a broad, rousing speech that allows you to physically create the whole marketplace in your playing space. Boy has one tiny interjection that you can easily cut. Slim, from Cyprus Avenue by David Ireland. This speech is in scene 6. Start on page 47 at, I fucking hate Fenians, I fucking hate them, do you? And stop on page 48 at, when will that happen, Eric? This play is set in Belfast, and Slim is a loyalist paramilitary. He wears a leather coat, carries a gun, and we're meeting him for the first time in this scene where he holds up Eric in the park. Eric is not a Fenian, so Slim is trying to convince Eric to dress up and impersonate one so Slim can satisfy his bloodlust and kill Eric anyway. Slim then goes on to give a detailed critique of Tom Cruise's career, accusing him of only playing Fenian characters. It's a ridiculously funny speech by a really wacky character in this ultra-dark comedy. Obviously, a Northern Irish accent is essential, and Eric has multiple interjections in this section which you'll need to cut to make the speech work. So here's how to get hold of these speeches. If you study or teach in education, sign up to Drama Online, which is a huge online resource with thousands of playtexts available to read digitally. Currently, the collection includes these plays, which contain the speeches mentioned in this video. You can order all of the playtext from the publishers, Nick Hearn Books and Bloomsbury. Go on eBay and see if you can get a cheap second-hand copy of any of these plays. If you're in London, visit the National Theatre Bookshop, the Royal Court Bookshop, Foyles on Charing Cross Road, Waterstones on Piccadilly, or the Calder Bookshop on The Cut. These shops have huge selections of playtexts to browse and buy, or you can buy any of these playtexts from Amazon. That's it for this video. Thanks ever so much for watching to the end. If it's helped you, please hit that like button down below and make sure you're subscribed to the channel too. Finally, have a look at these other videos that I've made that I think you'll like. Take care and all the best.